somebody was talking about Donald Trump being a monster, and he said in his speech, there's 50,000 illegal Irish immigrants. And I stopped the audio on that, and I was like, and I spoke about it. I was like, really? There's 50,000 illegal Irish here in the United States? This member of the Irish Parliament knows this and openly talked about it on air, in the House of Lords or whatever the fuck it is. He talked about this. And so it's like, so I'm sorry, I hate to be an a-hole, but those guys gotta go too.
Right.
They gotta get out of here.
Right.
And it's got nothing to do with Mexicans or it's a racist thing.
No.
You're here illegally, end of story.
No, and a big part of this too is those who overstay their visa. You know what?
This
isn't your playground. We need to keep track of people who are, look, go to any foreign country, be a guest in their country for a certain amount of time, and see what happens if you don't leave when you're supposed to, or if you break the law, or if you don't have papers to present when you're asked to, or identification, or whatever the case may be. Good luck to you.
Yeah, there's a whole series on National Geographic and Discovery Channel about, imprisoned overseas. Yeah, that's what happens to you. That's what happens to you. Here in the United States, you're given 3 meals, a hot and a cot, and
Section 8 housing,
Section 8 housing, a taxpayer-funded lawyer, and eventually you'll go back.
And then you get to blow up the Boston Marathon.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, they weren't illegals, they were refugees. That's my favorite scam, the refugee scam.
Bruce, take it from here. I know we're going on here, but this is part of being on the show here. Go ahead, Bruce.
Hey, you guys like to talk. All right, well, it's talk radio, right? So, the bottom line is that, and there can be as much talk as you want to do on what we're going to do, and there's been too much talk. So that's why we're all on board. So, you two gentlemen, as conservative as you are, I would think that you would want to build a wall too. So
hell yeah.
We're making it very available for every single person to come along and be actually part of this whole thing. Our group is the first one to ever initiate Trump's block party with the name of Donald Trump right in the front there as Trump's block party. And this is something that it's been a long time coming. So I urge you and your listeners to join into this membership. And what happens is everybody who's listening to the show tonight, if they join at the second level, the $100 level, you can not only get your name on the wall, but you're going to get an exclusive limited edition T-shirt that's going to be coming out. And people are going to be getting a limited edition. There's only going to be 1,000 of them made. So, I'll tell you, this is going to run. This is going to run. We had 64 million people vote for Donald Trump. There's no reason why each person can't buy a $9.95 block for that out of that 64 million. And let me tell you, it's going to be big. And the biggest part about this is I'm looking for, each state. There's going to be a total of 50 board of directors, 50 heads that are going to run this whole thing. And I'm looking for one from each state because we have 50 states. Obama thinks we have 53, but we still have 50 states in our union. And the idea is to make it so that each state can have its own say in the way they want it done. Now, in Massachusetts, in the land of liberalism, will that happen from there? I don't know. Maybe you guys might have to take the lead on that. But, New York, California might be a little rough out there too. But let me tell you, the heavy Trump states are going to be going for this heavy duty. And I had a meeting with USA Today, who is going to do a very nice promotion coming next week. And we're going to go into eight very specific, heavy demographic Trump states and areas that were very big for the vote for him. And that's going to be where we're going to start pushing Trump's bloc party the heaviest. And we're looking to sell millions and millions of blocks. So it's a non-profit organization. There's no money to be made here. This is 100% for America. So Chris and Joe, I look for you guys to be first up, first on, and spend the whole $9.95 or $100, whichever you like, and jump in, man.
I'm there. I'll do it.
Absolutely.
I do it. The end of the week is coming up, so I get paid soon. So there you go. There you go. So what are you gonna do?
it's not like I don't work. As you guys know, well, Joe doesn't know it. I don't know, Chris, you know, we've talked before, but I'm a physical therapist by nature. I'm not really, I'm not a politician. I think I am actually a poor politician because they're such liars. But the thing about me is that I have such a deep caring for people. So it's just the idea that, you know, I really want to protect our country. And, you know, I don't know if you guys have kids. I've got 6 children. So I need to have my children protected. And this is the only way that I've really figured out that I can make it so all of us, all of our 320 million here, our United States citizens, you Americans, can be protected from that South. And this has to happen. It has to happen now.
Without borders, you're not a country. That's it. You know, and here's the other crazy thing, is that you see all around the world, other countries are putting up walls and fences. You know, they're fighting the refugee issue that's coming on. And this is going to be a big thing in the 21st century because of the wars, because of what the despotism that's going on in the Middle East. And it's all coming from the Middle East. I'm sorry, folks. That's where it's coming from. And other East Bloc, former East Bloc European countries, they're all putting up fences and border walls. No one's saying anything about racism or bigotry there. They're not saying anything. They're not even covering it. But because the U.S. is talking about it. Oh, the U.S., imperialistic, evil America, evil bigotry America. Oh, horrible, the racism in America. It's a lie. It's a fabrication that's going on. Hang on, Bruce. One of the things I've always said on my show, you must see things as they really are. And you must never be afraid to call them out as such. You must see it as it is. And it is right there in front of you. And if you don't start paying attention to what's in front of you, it's going to blindside you. We've already seen it in Germany. We've already seen it in France. We've already seen it in Greece. It's happening already in Britain. It's happening even here in the United States. We have Dearbornistan. We have Islamberg in New York. It's already happening here.
We got the mosque in Boston.
Boston. There you go. Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, the thing is that one of the major things, obviously, Donald Trump ran on also is that he's not going to allow the 10, 12 million people that are here to stay. He's big on having them go back, and part of that, if we are working that condition, I've got that built into the wall as well. You like that built into the wall, where it makes it so if the way it's set up financially, if people do that, if they register and then they voluntarily leave our country because they're here illegally, like you guys were saying, we're all talking about as conservatives, they all leave our country voluntarily for whatever Donald Trump says, if it's a 15-day mark, if it's a 30-day mark, 35 days, whatever. Part of this wall, when they want to come back, will help to sponsor them as good citizens, good legalization, to come back, become legalized in our country as per our rules and regulations, and make it so that they can become not citizens, but they can be legalized. I don't think they should ever be citizens. Part of that legalization would make it so that when they get a Social Security number, that it would have a special I in front of it for immigration, and part of that would actually, the taxes that they pay, would actually pay for the upkeep of this wall over time, because we have to look out for the long term. So everything has been plotted and planned for any contingency.
What a great idea.
When the site is up full, everybody's going to think that this is good. And that's something that the left has been worried about a long time. Oh, we're going to send them all back. No, we'll send them back. They can come back, but they're coming back legally. And that's what has to happen.
This is the thing that they don't get. They don't understand this. And I said this last night on the show. The left doesn't understand what actually has to happen. They all think it's unicorn farts and lollipops, that everyone's going to live together, and they don't understand when they see something like Joe was saying about the Kate Steinleys and all the other incidences that happen, they're not anecdotal. They happen. There's some. I think Bill O'Reilly. I heard this on Bill O'Reilly that he said there's something like 1,000 incidences every day across the United States of some crime, some sort of the other, either from a simple robbery at a store, traffic violation, no license, to, yes, a murder, all committed by illegals that are here. And Joe had said something before about, 20, 30, 40 years ago, it was like, oh, that's in California, that's in Texas. Now it's everywhere. It's everywhere here. It's pandemic. It's systemic in our nation here. I see it all the time here at my job here in Worcester. The no habla inglés. And you wonder why. It's like, well, oh, ¿por qué no habla inglés? And I say, que cuando años en los Estados Unidos? Oh, 20, 30 años. Ah, yeah, 30 años? Okay. ¿Por qué no inglés? You've been here 20, 30 years, and ¿por qué no inglés? You don't speak English? It's like, what is going on here? What is happening here? Our country is completely transformed. It is now pandemic, it is now systemic. So this whole thing of sanctuary cities is just another example, another symptom of the malady that somehow we have to accept this new America. And now, here we are, at this election, the entire populace of the United States has finally rejected it.
Right. No, this was the ultimate, not gonna happen. The party's over if you're illegally in the country. You should be going home. You can self-deport now. You don't have to wait until January 20th. You can leave now. Nobody's going to stop you. Just like nobody stops you from doing anything when you're here. But really, look, we have illegal aliens voting in elections, okay?
That's what I mean about it being pandemic and systemic.
It's become acceptable.
Right.
When people.
Oh, you got cancer? Yeah, I got cancer.
Right.
Oh, you got AIDS? I got AIDS. Oh, you got illegals? Yeah, we got illegals.
Right. No, it's when you
take a Robitussin.
when you have this constant media drumbeat of the only thing they've done is come here illegally, as if that's okay. That's become ingrained in our society.
Sure.
So many people have just given up and accepted that.
They keep hammering the word immigrants.
Right, and they're bastardizing the word. You are not an immigrant if you're here illegally.
You know what?
You're an illegal alien. That's what you are.
That's it. You're bastardizing the word. That's right.
And the left does that all the time.
And you know what the funny thing is I've done these interviews. I've talked to other people that are immigrants. They're fucking pissed.
Right.
They hate it.
Right.
It's like, really? I spent $10,000. It took me 12 years. I had to take the citizenship test. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right. Now, I have a friend who he is Hispanic. He's an American he was born in America, but he comes from New York. But he'll be the first to tell me, look, you do not want America to turn into the third world, okay? Because you have no idea what the third world. I know there are cities in America now that look like the third world, or what we think is the third world, but you really have no idea until you go to the third world and see what that's like. And he's the first to tell me, we've got to make sure this stuff stops. We have to put a stop to this.
Bruce, take it from here.
Well, it's you guys are in Massachusetts. It's a little bit different a story up there. It's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny story what you got up there. We have three sides of water around us over here. You got four sides of liberal. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's different. We're supposed to be, or we're more of a. We lean generally more conservative down in Florida. So a lot of the problems are a little different. Now, do we have our Cuba, South Cuba, in Miami? Sure. Where we have, and do we have the other side of at South Beach? Do we have other situations like San Francisco? Sure. So, but you kind of have a hodgepodge up there of different things. very interesting.
That's well said, we do. It really is. Here in Central Mass, yeah, it's a hodgepodge. It's really crazy.
But the thing is also, I'm just actually looking at the news over here. One of the major reasons why I was able to do this as a nonprofit through Florida, because one of the major problems that we do have here, and it's huge, and the politicians don't want to get around it, and another reason for the wall is called human trafficking. And so from exactly where I am right here, you could throw a child in a trunk, and 19 hours later, they're across the border in Mexico and they're gone. They're now human slaves, and you're never going to see them again.
No.
And that's a huge problem. 310 we lost last year, 1,600 and that's in Florida. 1,600 we lost nationwide, and that's a situation. And you guys just saw the story that a woman was kidnapped out of California and held for some weeks, and they thought she was a teenager, and then she was a mom, actually 34 years old, and they let her go because they knew she wasn't a teenager, and they couldn't sell her for whatever sex slavery that they were going to try and do. And,
Sure.
And then she made it back, fortunately. But the thing is, it's not, and the idea of building the wall is not for the people that are coming in, but we need to watch who's going out too. So at the wall at the border, we're saying, okay, let's pop that trunk, let's see who's in that trunk before you take off out of our country. So because we have to stop this. This is a horrific crime, and we have no way to get our arms around it because the politicians are afraid of this. Where I live, and our southern states, and of course Texas, the cartels are the ones that are controlling this. So does anybody want to stand up to them? Well, hell no. Well, it's time. We have to stand up to the drug cartels and tell them we're not going to take the drugs coming in. We're not going to take you stealing our people out, and that's it. We're done.
I don't think the left understands that it's actually an act of war. All of this is an act of war. Invading our country and kidnapping our people, that's an act of war. It's an act of terrorism. And we need to go after these people the same way we go after Al-Qaeda or ISIS. And I don't think the left understands this. I don't think the right understands this. And of course, the media is not covering this.
Right, no.
None of them are covering it. Take it from here.
Right. No, they're not, and that's by design. Look, if you can keep the majority of people in America ignorant about something that the media wants, the media is the Democrat Party. The Democrats are the media. They are one and the same. This election has not changed that. If anything, this election is going to embolden them to go even further than they've gone. The Democrats, they are their, it's like a giant super PAC for the Democrat Party. If they can keep the majority of people from realizing what's going on, these endless crimes. Look, when illegal aliens get caught, oftentimes they're not even called undocumented anymore. In many cases, newspapers and TV news, they don't even tell you that the person happens, even if they know, they will keep that from you. You have to really dig in order to find this information out. And it's out of control. The crime is a problem. The cost to the society is a problem. I mean, we have, and look, even beyond that, if they can vote in elections, they have the ability to change election outcomes in this country. That is very dangerous if you have people illegally in the country voting in our elections, influencing our political process. And look, I mean, you've got mayors in Massachusetts, Joe Curtatone in Somerville, Mass. He's a punk. He's a punk from the streets of Somerville. But he's a punk who knows that he can have his sanctuary city. Our governor says he's not, he wants that sanctuary city fund. Our governor's a Republican I voted for. That was very disappointing when I heard that.
Sure.
We should not be funding sanctuary cities. Look, 20 years ago, I believe there was a teenager who was raped by, an illegal alien gang in Somerville. Joe Curtatone doesn't like to talk about that. And it happened so long ago relative to most people's attention spans that things like that get forgotten. But illegals have committed unbelievable crimes just here in Massachusetts. We don't even have to leave the state to see the damage these people have done. And simply because we have Democrats in Massachusetts who rely on them to become the next block of voters if they can get an amnesty, and you know damn well that's what they want. So it's for nothing more than that. It really is. It's a power thing.
So what's the same thing down in Florida? I mean, individual crimes. Talk about some of the stuff that's happened down in Florida, Bruce.
Well, aside from, in the sanctuary cities down here?
Sure, yeah.
Well, I can't, honestly, I don't even know. I haven't watched over the sanctuary cities to find, I just know that they're getting housed and clothed and fed on my dime, and that's the problem. So that's the big deal. And, look, the crime, corruption, drugs, I mean, it's all here. We got a corrupt governor that lets it all happen. And hence the next words out of my mouth is I'm running for governor 2018 in the state of Florida.
I was just going to say, what's in it for you in 2018? So there you go.
Yeah, and that's 2018. So I'm not because what's going to end up happening is Rick Scott's termed out at that point, and they're going to put in a Republican and a Democrat that's going to be the same kind of idea that has always been here, that nobody likes either one, because they each have their hands in the pot for something or other, and when it's time to have an independent. And so I'm registered. I was NPA registered, no party affiliation. Recently re-registered to independent party because I've learned ballot placement is extremely important. So I'll be third on the ballot, and the people that are running the independent party, there's one guy who's been in it since Ross Perot. And he's actually so happy that he's actually one of the people that got 19% for Ross Perot back in 2002 or 4. So he's that's his claim to fame, and he's an old guy, calls himself an old fart, and he says the last hurrah is going to be just something real big and make it so Florida knows that he's been here and what he's done. So that's the ticket. Time to get an independent into the governor's race in the state of Florida. And I'll tell you, I'm going to clean this place up. It's like this place is like termites on a house. You're going to just bust it down to the foundation, and we're starting from scratch, and we're going to rebuild the state.
I'm wondering if we're going to see that. I'm wondering if we're going to see that over the next 4 years of a Trump administration, that as the congressional elections come in 2018, and then again in 2020, and then you'll have another presidential election, and if Trump keeps going the way he's going, and 4 years from now, it's a shoo-in for Trump anyway, don't worry about it. But I'm wondering if we're going to start seeing this turn, as I said in my show last night, the implosion of the Democratic Party. And not only the implosion of the Democratic Party, the implosion of the Republican establishment elite. The Lindsey Grahams, the people that you, Bruce, were talking about, the people that Joe was talking about, that they're all going to see, yeah, these people are idiots, and we've got to get rid of them. And we've got to get them out. And I told you before, all the interviews I've done with candidates since 2014, the RNC never backed them because that was a different time. They're all trying to get along and go along and let's win what we can and yada yada. This entire Trump thing just threw the rule book into the garbage pail. It really did. And so I'm wondering if in the next couple of years, into 4 years, do you think, Bruce, and then I want Joe to take it from here, are we going to see that change? That people are going to say, well, who's this grassroots guy? Let's get this guy in. This guy's been talking for the last 2, 3, 4 years about this, and he's run 2, 3, 4 times. Let's get this guy in. Do you think so, Bruce?
I think so. Like I said, I think Donald Trump proves that whole situation right there. So that's where we're all going. I see, 2024, I see an independent president coming up and making their way through. So I think 2020 will be a little soon, 2024 for sure. And when that happens, it's gonna change everything. When I ran as an NPA as U.S. Senate, I was the only one running conservative NPA as U.S. Senate. But running as an NPA means no party affiliation, which means if I had won, I would have been the only person to ever win the seat for U.S. Senate to get in there. And that changes the whole ball game because I don't have to be subservient to the left or the right. So as per the Constitution, it makes it so that I get to go up there and I'm actually one of the heads. There's no majority and minority party on me. I'm one of those people up there. So if Mitch McConnell and whoever's on the other side, that would be me as well. So that's the story, and that's as per the Constitution. So, and then who, as you know, the vice president is the person who's pro temp in the Senate. Well, when the vice president's not there, they have to have somebody else in there. Well, logically, it would be the most neutral person, and again, that would be the no party affiliate guy, because that would be the person watching out for the people. So there's a whole lot of different things and nuances that are happening now that it's good to be where I am, as conservative as I feel, as conservative as this country is running at this point, and making it so that we can make a new stance and make a new wave, and that's where we're going. So, I hope that everybody, you got obviously a show of listeners that are conservative, and that's what they believe in, because that's what our Constitution believes in from way back when, and that's what we have to go back to. So, like I said in the beginning or earlier on, so build the wall, and we got to make it happen this year. This is going to be the big deal.
Hang on. Joe, go ahead.
We need to hold President Trump. Okay, I'm not even saying president-elect anymore. I'm done with that bullshit. He is the president. I mean, he's more presidential than Barack Obama ever was, and he's not even sworn in yet.
Right, exactly.
But no, and I was one of his biggest supporters when I saw that he was that he had a message that was plain and simple. People, were obviously responding to it. And I looked at the other 16 people and I said, look, none of them have the balls to do what this guy's doing. And none of them are garnering the support this guy's getting. But we have to hold him. We have to hold him accountable.
Sure.
We have to make sure
that's our job. That's our job.
That's absolutely right. And we need to do it. First of all, we need to do it because we need to do it. But secondly, if we want to build upon this, okay, if we don't want 2018 to be a disaster for us, if we don't want 2020, look, Joe Biden, whether he's serious or not, is actually telling the media he may run for president in 2020. What is he going to be, 80 years old? He's senile now. Yeah. My point is we have to not fuck this up. Okay, I think that's the plain and simple way to put it.
We can't
just now relax.
The golden chalice has been handed to us.
Right, we can't fuck it up. Okay, pardon my language, but we can't.
You're on meat and potatoes. Don't worry
about it. There we go.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
We've got to hold him accountable. We've got to hold everyone else accountable down in D.C. They have to drain the swamp. They absolutely do. That's not just a slogan. They really have to do it because it's dirty, it's corrupt, it's rotten. And if he does what he told us he's going to do, if he were elected, I think we're going to have many good years ahead of us as a country and politically. And frankly, the Republicans ought to be thankful that he rescued their party, because the Republican Party was dead on arrival before Donald Trump.
We were. In fact, during the entire election, this was it. This was the entire media mantra that a Donald Trump thing could spell the end of the Republican Party. And, again, like I said, even the right didn't understand what was going on. Come to find out, it's the greatest rock star show on the planet today. It really is. We're seeing it not only in the Brexit vote, the Donald Trump vote. We're now seeing Marine Le Pen has gained in the polls in France. Italy has just gone through a vote to begin the preliminaries to exit EU. This whole thing is starting to fall apart. It's all starting to go back to individual state sovereignty. Bruce, take it from here.
I think you guys are, you got it pretty spot on. I think we're in a whole new phase now. I think it's time to make it so that that's going to happen. And I'm happy to have been on your show for tonight. I didn't know it was even this long. It's more than an hour, but I'm going to bow out now because there's too many other things I have to do. Putting this website together was quite the thing. I've got a couple of guys on the team, and I've actually got to go and do it down to Lake Worth tomorrow, hour drive. So I got, just like you guys, we got regular jobs, we got things that we're doing and trying to make it all happen. So
Bruce, I want to thank you so much.
Go on to TrumpsBlockParty.org. wonderful. This is a non-profit deal. You know, I'm going to have a 501c3 we're setting up right now. So every single person that comes on, corporations that come on, it makes it so that each person gets involved. This is huge.
Bruce, I want to thank you so much. I've been asking you so many times to come on the show, and this is not going away. Like I always say in my show, it's not like this crap isn't getting solved anytime soon. So I look forward to many more conversations with you, and coming up over the next year and into your 2018 run for governor down there in Florida. Open invitation, my friend. Open invitation on the Meat and Potato Show.
Well, thank you, Christopher, and Joe, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
You as well, and I just made a contribution on the website, so.
There you go.
Good luck with that.
There you go.
Thank you very much. You guys are great. All
Thank
right,
you.
and we'll be talking. I'm happy to have you. Any questions or comments? Joe, you guys got my emails and phone number. Call or text or email anytime.
Anytime. Okay, bud. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. All right, bye.
Good night.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So there you go. You know, even down in Florida, they've got the same shenanigans. You know, this is the thing that I was saying to you, not only to you, but to Bruce and my audience as well, is that I've been interviewing candidates, God, ad nauseum. Since 2008, 2010, I started the whole series I call the candidate interviews. I heard the same story. The RNC isn't backing us, no, we're the grassroots. And they all stuck to the same principle. The Constitution, God, King and country, you know, individual liberty and rights. You would think the Republicans would be, we can get the left on this.
Right.
No.
No.
The answer is no.
No.
I went through it in 8, 10, 12, 14.
Right.
And then when I started to see it in 16, I was like, oh, here we go again.
Right.
Then this guy shows up.
Right, and you know.
And you know what guy I'm talking
right.
about.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, no. Thankfully, thankfully things have been blown up. Things have been changed. You know, we really are, and this gets back to what I was saying earlier. We can't blow this, okay?
We can't. No.
We've got this opportunity.
We've got
the
the
voters.
chalice
We
in our
finally got
hands.
enough voters to pay attention. Okay, we finally got enough people interested to vote. How many people? And I saw a woman earlier this week who told me that she had never voted before in her life. She was probably about 50 years old. Okay. And she voted for Trump.
How does that?
That was all she wanted
50
to
years
do.
and never voted?
Never voted.
How?
And I've heard that countless times, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I don't know. I voted since I was eligible.
Right, 18, boom.
Right.
Even when I was a lefty back in the days, I at least fucking voted.
Right.
See? Might have been for the wrong side,
Well.
but at least I cast my ballot.
Right.